Hockey season. Finally. What was that? 2 months?
Oh, it felt like an eternity, but yeah, it's 2
too
months.
long. For a couple of Canadians, this is too long. What do we have to deal with? Golf? I like golf.
CFL?
Oh, the CFL, yeah. Well, yeah, the Bombers started out not so great this year. They have pulled it together, which is nice to see. Just in time to break my heart in the Grey Cup, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
set yourself up for that.
Yeah. Well, I've become used to it. Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in to CFL chat here on the LGRN. No. Playoff beards. Beards in the playoff beards in the regular season. Regular season playoff beards. We should have a little thing that X out the playoff part and just have somebody scribble regular season over time. No one ever talks about the regular season beard.
No, we'll have to talk to the editor and all that to see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, well, the graphic guy might be a little busy. Everybody take care in Florida right now. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe, guys.
Yeah, okay. Let's get talking. There's a lot. I'm going to try and cover each team, maybe do a couple predictions. I don't want to spend too long on every team. I could on some teams, obviously I could. But we'll try and speed things up. So I think I'll just go through the teams in reverse order how they finished in their divisions. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start from the Metro. We'll move all the way west, and so unfortunately that means starting with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow.
And yeah, I can't. Of course, it's got to be the biggest. One of the biggest tragedies, I think, in NHL history for sure. I don't know of hockey history. Of course, there was that flight over in Russia that took out an entire team. But yeah, incredibly sad news about Johnny Hockey and his brother.
And can I just say, Frank Saravelli, piece of shit.
Oh yeah, you not only can you say it, I insist. Okay. And the guys from Philly too, Saravelli. Like, what are you thinking with that ridiculous thing? And then trying to apologize afterwards. Yeah, he edited it like 3 or 4 times. He meant to put out those words.
It was disgusting what this man put out on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it's going to call it, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. It's disgusting.
He's still doing shows with that internet thing that he does too. So that's just so weird. It's like, take the loss, take a little while off. I guess he has nothing else to do or whatever. Saravelli, no one else would want it. Anyways, yeah. So back just to the Jackets, and they lost their backup goaltender just a couple of years ago in that freak firecracker or fireworks accident.
Yeah, there was the
fireworks. Yeah, freak fireworks. So just a lot of things have gone wrong. Line traded. Poor Sean Monahan. So Sean Monahan was with the Jets last year. He goes to join. The Jets gave him a good offer.
They did.
He went over to Columbus instead because Johnny Gaudreau's his best friend or something like that. So,
well, again, Sean Monahan, he made the choice to go there.
Yeah, you could never see. You can't
foresee anything like that. No, but I mean, he made the choice.
Yeah, the NHL said, "Well, you don't even have to get to the floor, obviously." Like, what are you supposed to? Yeah, that's a win for the league.
Yep,
yeah, that's 100%. A win for them. One thing you can't see though is any kind of improvement for Columbus. They will be vying for the #1 pick overall. I just don't see how they can do anything here.
It's a tough metropolitan division. It's going to be, but yeah, in the same token, you're right. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to be bottom feeder or bottom of the league, but they are in the running for, unfortunately, that.
They're in the running for it, for
title.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm not going to say where I think they're going to finish at this. We'll go through the division, then I'll just do my list quick after that. The team that finished second last, so many people are picking them to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, we're talking. Okay.
I am shocked by this. Is it because they've added Sheldon Keefe, known Stanley Cup worthy coach with all kinds of talent around him? Is it because they got Jacob Markstrom? What? No. But supposedly that's the only thing they need was Jacob Markstrom. And now the New Jersey Devils, they're predicting to go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, which is bananas.
Hey, they're 2-0 right now. They're pretty solid.
Yeah.
They're
they took care of Buffalo.
Buffalo was just nothing for them. Like, come on.
Buffalo.
No, do I think there's an overhype on New Jersey? Yes, I do. Do I think that they are a very talented team and have the potential to? Yep. I'm not saying make to the finals, but make a run in the playoffs. Yes, but again, it's a like Eastern Conference and especially their division. It's a tough division.
Keefe doesn't have that curse over his head anymore. He's not he doesn't have that first round curse or whatever just lingering over, although he did break it.
No.
I think their defense go ahead.
Keefe is best friends right now with Jack Hughes. Like they're probably going out for supper and stuff like that. And Markstrom, you know what? Markstrom is a big improvement from what they had last year.
Yeah, nothing. Trust me, their backup or their starting goaltender, I think it's in Winnipeg. Maybe a backup too.
Jake Allen's still their backup. It's still not great. But I mean, you know what? I think it comes down to injuries with New Jersey. If they can stay the healthy route, I think they'll be okay. I just don't know if the hype is there for them yet.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where I place them in a bit. I'm going to say this. Their defense looks good. It looks real good. Bringing in Pesci. Bringing in Pesci. Bringing in Brendan Dillon. Yep. Defense looks good.
And that's great.
I just don't know. How do you go from being that bad just by adding, a mid starting goaltender, goaltender,
and a coach.
A coach.
Yeah.
Couple of defense. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Moving on to Philadelphia. The big news over there is going to be Matvei Michkov, right?
It has to be. It has to be.
Yep.
I mean, that's the only thing that's going to be different this year.
They're going to need bounce back seasons from Sean Couturier for sure. He's going to have to regain his form. Yeah, Owen Tippett had a good year last year with 28 goals. That's fine. They're going to need some more. Travis Konechny has 68 points. There's a few pieces there, but I don't like their defense.
I don't like their coach.
Their coach is terrible too.
Their coach is terrible. Like, he's a piece of shit. Not gonna lie.
I like the big signs that they have in the Jets games. Just him pointing and stuff. Like, it's so funny.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's great.
I don't think anybody's holding their breath that the Flyers are going to make the playoffs this year.
No.
Let's move on. Spent enough time about Philly. The Penguins. The Penguins were next. Missed the playoffs. Ooh. The Pittsburgh Penguins made a couple of changes. They bring in Kevin Hayes. I guess it's the third line center. So I don't know what they're looking for. I guess they're not you're going to use the third line as much of a shutdown unit, seeing how Chris Hayes cannot do that. Nope. Of course, the big prospect trade with the Jets.
Oh, yes.
Getting Rutger McGroarty, who I think Winnipeg hyped up as much as anything.
Oh, for sure
they get, he's going to be just a physical agitator. He's not going to score the way he did in college. I think he's going to find life very difficult in the pros, and he can't skate well. This is one thing that the Jets keep trying to harp on. Learn to skate better, and he hasn't seen it. He is going to start on the big team. Like, it looked like he wasn't going to make the opening day roster, but Brian Rust got hurt. So he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to play, how many minutes he's going to play, and how long he's going to stay up. I don't know if he'll make it to 9 games. They might just send him down. They can't send him down. He has to be a pro contract. Yeah, they're good. Well, right. They could always send him down. It's just
send him down, but
it's going to burn. His first year is going to get burnt. Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, I wrote down a note here that I thought was funny that Rutger McGroarty is wearing number 2 Because he's a piece of crap. So there you go. Kind of forward wears 2 anyways. Ridiculous.
No, and you know what? I'm glad Crosby signed his deal, whatever.
Yep. He has the thing.
8.7, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. So the only ones he'll do.
I don't know if that's going to. It's not going to improve the Penguins this year. They missed the playoffs.
Yeah, they're still bad in front of net. You know what I mean?
And they're old. They're still old.
They're old. Sidney Crosby is still so good. It makes up for a lot of it. But wingers wise, like who else is gonna score? Where's that secondary scoring gonna come from? Especially, Malkin, if Malkin gets hurt again, who knows?
Yeah,
they're a huge question mark. Here's another huge question mark. We're gonna move on. The Capitals. This whole Metro division is the bottom part is so full of question marks. First, we'll say, do you believe Ovechkin gets the 42 he'll need to pass Gretzky this season? I don't.
No, I don't think he does. I think he gets like 30.
Ooh,
maybe
even that high. That's pretty good. That'd be a good season for him.
I think it'd be a good season for him, but I think he comes back again. There's no way he's not coming back to break the record.
Oh, he's going to he'll eventually break the record. That's it's unless a catastrophic injury happens, he's going to break his record, and good for him. It's going to take him a lot longer to do it, but there's also 2 different styles of hockey. So, do I think he's a better player than Gretzky? Obviously not.
No.
There's no chance.
I don't think Washington. I don't think Washington is a team that's going to be much relevance this year.
No, they snuck in last game of the year last year. Ridiculous trade to get PLD. What were you doing? But someone has to try and give Ovechkin the puck. It might as well be him. I don't know. There's lots of museums and stuff around there for Dubois. Maybe that'll make him happy. It's on the coast. It's a quicker plane ride to France, so he can hang out by the boats and go watch PSG or whatever the hell he does over there. Yeah, the Capitals. They'll be interesting. At least they don't have Darcy Kemper in it. There you go. That's such a strange trade. Such a strange trade.
If that's what you want to bank on, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Okay, now we'll get down to the nitty gritty. The top 3 were floating above everybody. It's not even close. Probably the only 3 I think that are going to make the playoffs this year from this division. Starting off with your New York Islanders. A full year under Patrick Roy now. One thing.
Go ahead. Again, I think the team's going to be very much the same as what they were last year.
Yep.
They're going to be
towards the end of last year, yeah.
Like a scrap and claw team. You know what? Do I think that they're going to make the playoffs? If they do, it'll be like the second wild card. They'll squeak in. Mm-hmm. Like they have like Sorokin is still our best player. Yes.
Oh yeah.
We picked up Duclair, which come like in the preseason he's been very good.
I like that you signed him. I just didn't understand the 4 years part of it. 4 years.
No.
Great for him. I'm an Anthony Duclair fan. I've been pulling for him since he was in the World Juniors. But it's just he's a journeyman guy. And to give him 4 years, congratulations to him. It
was too much for a player like that. It was too much.
They're gonna need to play tight defense. Bo Horvat's there. If he can have a good year, there's no way that they're a wild card team though. Yeah, the top 3 have to go into the playoffs, right? So they're either going to be playing, I would believe, the Hurricanes or the Rangers in the first round. I just can't see the Capitals even making the playoffs. I can't see the Penguins making the playoffs. Yeah, so the Islanders are pretty much locked in, I think.
I think your 3 teams in the Metropolitan, like top 3, are pretty much set.
Yeah. That's about it. Okay, speaking of the other 2, let's go on to them. Hurricanes. Now, they lose Jake Gensel. You know,
They lost a lot of players.
He was good for them and stuff like that. But the money that Tampa gives them, oh my goodness. Teuvo Teravainen goes back to Chicago. Stefan Noesen and Brett Pesce both in New Jersey. Brady Shea goes to Nashville. They sign the ghost of William Carrier from Vegas. He had 8 points in 39 games last year. They got my good old pal Jack Roslovic. For whatever reason, I think he's playing on their fourth line. He's playing on their fourth line or something like that. Good for him.
Love that.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Meanwhile, he was on the second line on the team last year.
Yeah. A couple noticeable things on defense. They go and get Sean Walker from Philly. That's a good pickup. I think he was sought after. Yeah. And Shane Gostisbehere, and you'd think you'd think. Ugh. But he actually had a pretty good season. He had 56 points for the Red Wings last year.
Yeah, you're still flipping a coin with Gostisbehere. You're still flipping a coin.
Yeah, it's not like that first year, second year Gostisbehere anymore. You're getting Gostisbehere that's been booted around the NHL for a little while, Gostisbehere, but had a bit of a comeback last year. He earns a shot here in Carolina. We got the new GM and Eric Tulsky. Of course, he's been around the club and stuff like that. Anyways, it's not like there was a huge GM search. So they're still probably the second best team.
I would say them and the Islanders are a lot closer than what we think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're probably still. Maybe the Islanders would take them.
I would say Carolina still is just a little bit better. But
you know one thing. If these guys are close, and when it's coming to the deadline, you know that they'll make a splash. They're not afraid to do that. So it'll be interesting. Let's see how they're going to do leading up to February. Now, so that left the Rangers. They won the division the year before. They went to the conference finals last year.
They did. Yes,
they got rid of a couple of former Jets. Blake Wheeler. Bye-bye, Blake. And to think that maybe his last shift was that awful giveaway.
It's terrible.
And Jack Roslovic, also gone, obviously. Yep. They finally get some production out of Alex Lafreniere. And they've been waiting a while for this. And he had a good year, 57 points. He played all 82 games. A very good playoffs for Lafreniere.
Oh, yeah. He was very good in the playoffs. I will say that.
Their best player, and I think it's by some margin now, is Igor Shesterkin. Igor Shesterkin is nuts. Igor Shesterkin is a maniac. No. He's a goaltender. Yep. He's a goaltender. He's giving up 8 years and $11 million per. That would already make him how does anybody sign you for that? Are you willing to take more than that and not win? If the New York Rangers can fit $11 million into all the money they pay, who's going to have the money? Like, he's going to end up in Columbus. Columbus say, I'll give you 13.
No. The Rangers will pay him.
I just don't know how.
Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Who's the best player? Is he the best player on the Rangers right now? The best player?
Yes. Yeah, by far.
Yes. Who's the best player on Edmonton?
Oh, McDavid.
Who's paid the most in Edmonton?
Oh, it's Draisaitl just because he just got paid.
No. Next year, not this year.
Oh yeah, starting next year.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Toronto. Who's the best player in Toronto?
$14 million contract. Oh yeah,
it's by sickening. Yeah. Who's the highest player in Toronto?
Yeah, it's Matthews. The problem is they've given lots of money to other guys that are very good, but not that level. Like guys are making $7-8 million. They're like Kreider.
So you're telling me right now that Shesterkin shouldn't make more than what Panarin is making on the Rangers?
He would make more. He would make more at $11 million. $11 million. That's crazy. And for a goalie, it was a hip and a knee. How much is Panarin making?
I think Panarin's 11.5.
They're nuts. Yeah, how can you afford this? How can you afford more? I just don't get it. It's still a salary cap league.
Just ask Toronto. They've done it for years.
Oh, they're idiots. Look at all the
I know. success.
Look
But
at
what
all
I'm
the
saying
success.
is,
That is
what
not
I'm
the
saying
business
is,
model you want. Is the Maple Leafs.
if Panarin, or sorry, if Shesterkin and his agent feel that they're the best player on the Rangers, who give them the best chance to win, then I don't mind him saying, "Hey, I want to be paid like the best player on this team." I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are sitting here debating and talking about this because it's a goaltender. Mm-hmm. It's not a star centerman. It's not a star winger.
Right.
It's a goaltender.
Yeah.
Where this is where I think Connor Hellebuck made a huge mistake last year. Connor Hellebuck should have said, "You're going to pay Scheifele 8.25 or 8.5, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I want 10 because I am the player on this team."
Yeah, he's a lot older than Shesterkin, and he's going to be older when that contract ends.
Yeah, but still,
the 8.25 or whatever playing for Hellebuck. You had to mention over the length of the contract, we're really only paying him for the next 4 years.
Who's the best player in Winnipeg?
Oh, it's Hellebuck. Yeah.
So why can't he be paid more than anybody?
He can't score goals, and he can't win faceoffs. He can't assist.
No.
And also,
right. Well, he can still assist.
He can't play.
He can assist.
He can't play in the playoffs either. There's that.
Well, but still, like, do you think you're not wrong? But do you think that him and Scheifele should be on the same level? No, I think Hellebuck should be higher than Scheifele.
How does Winnipeg replace the 1C? Tell me how.
Oh, come on.
We had so many. We had offered people more money than what they took. We can't even keep 2 Cs. We have to draft and develop. That's the only way. Nobody's coming here in free agency. We can do trades. We get Monahan, which is good, and it worked out okay.
Yeah, but then what did Monahan do?
And
then he left.
He was fine.
And then he goes.
Exactly. That's my exact point. You have to give Scheifele all kinds of money too. With Hellebuck, people are going to see him. He's just he wanted that 8th year.
Do you have a better chance of winning a Stanley Cup with Scheifele, or a better chance of winning a Stanley Cup with Hellebuck?
The good news is I don't have to choose. They're in the exact same contract for the exact same length.
Well, there you go. You're lucky.
The Rangers.
I'm just saying.
We're still talking about the Rangers. I'm going to say this.
I don't blame Shesterkin for saying that I'm the best player on the team. I should be paid the highest. I do not blame him for that.
They were going to have to get rid of an $8 million anchor that's on their third pairing right now, and he doesn't want to go. And he negotiated a contract where he said he doesn't have to.
Well, that fucking Trouba should be gone.
He should be. They sure tried. They tried,
But yet they make him captain. They make him captain, and everything's good.
Yeah. He's great. He's great in the room. He's everybody's buddy. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, it's not like the signs weren't there, Ryan.
All light shine bright on New York. Have at it.
That's it. Want to do some predictions?
Sure.
Okay. You got some, or you want me just to do mine real quick?
Like what predictions are we doing?
We're just going to predict the top teams in the top teams in the Metro.
In the Metro? Oh, I think the Rangers for sure are number 1.
Yeah.
And then I would say it would be. So I'm going to say, see, this is tough now. Okay, I'm going to say New Jersey's number 2.
Okay, that far. All right.
I will say Carolina's 3, and I will say the Islanders are 4.
Okay. I have pretty much the same as you. And then I had the Pittsburgh, Washington Flyers, and Columbus just to round it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I had New Jersey jumping up to 4 and you guys taking the second spot, actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm really curious about what Patrick Waugh would do with an entire year there.
Yes,
Very curious.
You're a better man than I am now, Snark.
Oh, don't get started. Okay, let's move on to the Atlantic Division.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, well, we can always make it real quick. Starting with your favorite team. Just kidding. Les Habitants de Montréal. Let's see. Big news. They go get Line A.
And then he's hurt.
And for his first damn preseason game.
That was it was bad. Like it was a pretty crappy.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a great
situation. Hit. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, knee on knee, and a guy who's just a tag along in Pare. He stuck his knee out. Like Line made a good move. He just wanted to make sure he got contact. They're saying like in Toronto, it's like, yeah, as soon as you stick your knee out like that, it's not great. And they said maybe you didn't target him, but he wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough to play that game against him. It's a preseason game. Just let him go past or push him. Like you didn't have to do that. Anyways, he's going to miss. Good news is he's only going to miss about 2 or 3 months. He's coming back from assistance. And his buddy was killed. Just a terrible time for Patrick Laine. It's not good.
But it could have been a lot worse. Like originally when I seen it, I'm like, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
And
I was worried for him.
He dodged a bullet, so good for it still sucks for him, but at least he's going to be able to get back this year.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I have no hope for the Montreal Canadiens.
None. Okay, yeah, they're going to need more from Slafkovsky, obviously. He had a good season, 20 goals and 30 assists.
If you have Sam Montembeau
following the great tradition of Ken Dryden, Jacques Plante. Yeah.
I'll take Carey Price right now, the way that he is over him.
Well, no kidding. Lane Hudson makes the club. This is going to be a weird experiment.
Primo? Do they still have Primo?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even look.
As a goalie, Primo?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I can look it up. But Lane Hudson.
He went to Greener Pastures.
Oh my God. He went to Acadia or something. Lane Hudson makes the club.
Poor bastard. Nice.
He's gonna have a spotlight on him. Like he's a big deal in the U.S. circuit there, but he's 5'9" defenseman on the Montreal Canadiens.
Have fun.
158 pounds, Ryan.
Holy Jesus! You see,
that's how many.
This is a straight arm. That's what's going to happen to that kid.
That's how many smokes Guy Lafleur was in his back pocket. 159 pounds. He's out there.
That's so good. I love that.
Now,
right.
Enough about
them.
3 cigs in the intermission. Sens next. The local team. The local team. It's obviously not your team.
Actually, but you know what? I'm actually optimistic about Ottawa.
Okay.
They just signed
Linus. Yeah, they get their number one goalie, like New Jersey, that they've been looking for a while.
Yeah, so they got him for 4 years, which is great. Yep. He was just waiting to see what Swayman signed for, so he could say, "I did the exact same thing," which is perfect.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we will. But I think again, Ottawa, it comes down to their young player development. Is Travis Green the one that can get these young players to focus and be the team that they can be? I don't know.
He's had a couple of kicks at the can and hasn't worked out terrifically for him.
No, exactly.
They have a new owner now, the Sens. They got Andauer in there.
Oh, and they have Steve Staios as their GM. Give me a break.
I like how he anointed himself that last year.
It was great.
I think the biggest news is they're finally getting that arena in LeBreton Flats.
Well,
supposedly. I always say supposedly.
It's always supposedly, because there's been talk about this for a long time. And you know what? I hope they do, and I hope they could figure out how to do the light rail system and all that.
Sure.
Because living west of Ottawa, like I'm not driving all the way into LeBreton Flats just to watch a hockey game.
Yeah, no kidding. Terrible. Hang out downtown Ottawa. Yikes. Okay. They're also going to need more out of Josh Norris, who only had 30 points.
Josh Norris, Jake Sanderson. Brady Tkachuk, like
Brady Tkachuk does all he can, but Brady Tkachuk has to learn how to use his physicality right.
In a positive manner. Yeah,
you're just wasting it. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna go Sabres. Say another one. Say what's old is new again. Once again in Buffalo, they hired Lindy Ruff. Lindy Ruff is their coach once again. The no goal guy is back. And his 1990s way of thinking. I'm sure that's going to bode well.
Tage Thompson is going to excel under Lindy Ruff.
Tage Thompson had the floor taken out from under him last year. Just 56 points.
Yeah,
he had 94 the year before. He almost had half as many points, and he only played 7 less games.
So, but my question is then, what happened? Something obviously has happened.
Yeah, well, it could be poor coaching, could be the players around him and stuff like that too. Who knows? Maybe he just didn't have that nose for gold. Gets some money. Doesn't want to get into the dirty areas. He's so big. He's such a big guy. He has to impose his will. And if you're not willing to do that, you have to be able to do that every goddamn game. I don't care if he does or not.
But I also need to see more out of the defense.
Yeah, it was my next line. It's a good looking. It's a good looking defensive core. You look at this thing, it's like, this thing has, and again, they have problems with goaltending. They need goaltending.
Well,
but they also need scoring from anywhere besides the first line. I don't know who scores for this team. So strange.
That's true. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah. Well, maybe they get it all from the back end. Okay, let's move on. A team that started loading up last year, started getting some players, spending some money, and it went to hell. So we'll see what they do this year. The Red Wings. The Red Wings are going to enter the year with 3 goaltenders. And not like the Jets who had to keep 3 goaltenders because they weren't sure about Hellebuck because he was attending to a family matter. These guys have 3 goaltenders vying for the top jobs, though. Ville Husso. Cam Talbot's over there, who was okay in Los Angeles. Alex Lyon, the former backup in Florida and Toronto, I think, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But why would they bring in Cam Talbot? What is the purpose of bringing in Cam Talbot?
Nope. Yep. No idea. I have no idea. If they just didn't trust Husso or something. Who knows?
Well, yeah, okay, but still. So now you bring in Talbot, and you're probably like, I don't know what the salary is. I really don't. There's probably 2, 3, maybe 4 million. I don't know.
Yep.
But realistically, unless you were bringing Talbot in to be your starter, there was no reason for you to do this. So I have no idea what Detroit's thinking. Again, they're going to be a bubble team. They're going to be a team that is going to be there, but then it's not. And then they'll be there, and it's not.
I don't even see them even being there. Like they had Vladimir Tarasenko up front.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, he's making $4 million, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. He's had good teams in front of him, and I just don't see it. I don't see it in Detroit.
Again, I don't understand Detroit's line of thinking when it comes to a few signings. But you know what? I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you are. The last line I wrote in my little notes here is like, after I was looking through the thing, it says, does any of this feel playoffsy? I was like, no, I don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Let's move on to teams that do feel playoffsy. First, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Ooh.
Huge changes. Changes.
Yep.
Face of the franchise changes.
Yep.
They get rid of Stamkos. Stamkos and his 41 goals. Yep. 80 points.
I said my piece. About that on whenever we did our last episode. I said my piece on that.
That was at the free agency drafting. Yes. Free agency drafting we did.
So
that same week.
I mean,
They bring in Jake
I've had
Gensel in for him, younger, but not as good. No center.
Well, no, but I also think too. I think you'll still get the same production.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
Like my biggest thing with Stamkos
$9 million. $9 million a year.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And
77 points.
And with no rapport or no cohesion with Kucherov or Hedman or Braden Point or anybody on that team.
Yeah.
Like I still think that team is a playoff team.
Oh yeah.
I have actually seen some outlets, some people who say Tampa is going to win the Atlantic Division.
Bananas.
I'd like to get them drug tested if that's possible.
No kidding. Or get whatever they're having.
But at the same token, do I think they're not improved by getting Gensel and losing Stamkos? They're not proved.
No.
But with a John Cooper-led team, and you got Sergei in the net.
Is he on a slide though? He was up, and then a bit of a plateau. Maybe he's plateauing. Maybe not on the slope yet, but plateaued.
You know what I think was the best thing for Tampa Bay was rest.
Yeah.
Don't have your deep runs. Have a year or two where you just first round you bow out. Get your rest.
One thing you could say about rest, Vasilevsky
it could hurt you too.
Vasilevsky doesn't get to play in that Four Nations Cup in February.
Well,
no Russians.
No Russians. That's true too. So again, I think Tampa is a very formidable team. I just don't think that the hype for them should be as much as what some people have for them.
Yeah, certainly a playoff team. Could they? I don't even know if they win around. Just a couple other things. Trading Sergachev over to Utah. It's going to be weird saying that name for a little bit. They get Connor Geekie, who I got to see with the Ice when they were here. Big guy and a kid. You're 6'4", 220, and a kid, and play center. It's something you take a gamble on. It's something you take a gamble on for sure, especially if you lose Stanford.
It depends on how they utilize them. That's all.
Yeah. I think he's starting on the third line for them, if I remember right. Which is that's ice time. Yeah, that's a special ice time. They bring Ryan McDonough back on the back end for whatever reason. They lose some guys, but we'll see how they do. They're for sure. You can't say that any Lightning. They still have so much talent up front.
Oh, they do.
Okay. The team that finished third in the Atlantic Division, that's the Maple Leafs.
Is this our favorite team of the world?
It's our world's most favorite team, and I never say a bad word about them, ever. They get a new coach. They get Craig Berube in.
Good.
He's won a cup. They always bring in guys that have won cups before, thinking that they're going to bring that same level to the Leafs. Never happens. We're going to see. They bring in Big Chris Tanev to be a stay-at-home defenseman for them, I guess.
This is great.
A signing they needed to make 6 years ago. But
keep bringing hope to the Leafs fans, because this is what I love.
They bring the dusty corpse of Max Pacioretty in.
Oh, and would they sign Oliver Ekman-Larsson? So everything is a honky-dory in Toronto.
They had a very good team 6 years ago.
They signed Joseph Woll, and he doesn't even get to play a game, and he's already on the IR.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's fantastic. I love this team just because I love to laugh.
Yeah, it is our thing. Like every story needs a villain. You know what I mean? It's only as good as how bad your villain is. So, many TSN guys picking the Leafs to make it to the Stanley Cup. Are they out of their effing minds?
No, they're not picking them to go to the Stanley Cup. They're picking them to get to the Eastern Conference Final.
That's
which is still funny. Which is still funny in itself.
Yeah, no, there's some teams thinking Rangers, but yeah, no, there's a couple that are saying Leafs. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I've seen Rangers. I've seen Florida, but again, in the same token,
those are some people actually care about their job and not just trying to appease a certain fan base.
And do I think the Leafs are a good team? Yes,
yeah, they got a great player.
We could sit here and joke about the Leafs because that's what we do.
Yeah,
but honestly, they have a good team, not a decent, but a good team.
Yep.
I mean, I think still bottom line is, can you do what you do with the amount of money that you pay so many, X amount of people up front?
Yep.
And is your goaltending going to take you to where it's got to go? And as far as I'm concerned, they have improved on the defense. Obviously, but then again, they didn't go young; they went old. So you might as well have signed 4 Mark Giordano's.
Yeah, it could have been very much could have been a lateral move getting those defensemen in.
I think Tanev is an improvement. I do.
Sure. Yeah. For a stay-at-home guy, if they're worried about people getting to the front of the net, he's a good guy to have.
That's right. And you pair him with Morgan Riley, and
are the faster guys going to be able to get around him? Yes. But I guess that's why you have Morgan Riley, and he's going to have to play 30 minutes a night again.
Yeah, but again, what is Morgan Riley fast now in the NHL?
No. Yeah, to get him in there so he can fill a spot. They're not beating people; they're filling spots so that the passes don't go across.
Because what they're doing is they're trying to appease their fan base by saying, "Look at what we're doing."
The Shanna plan.
And the problem is they should have gotten rid of that. They should have gotten rid of that clown this year last year, whatever, in the summer.
This was the chance to do it.
And that was the time to do it. There's nothing like Trevelling, I have no issue with.
He was only been on the job for a year at that point, so what are you going to do, right? Yep.
That's exactly.
And he knows Chris Tanev from the time in Calgary, so of course they're going to bring him in.
And the one person that should have been gone is not Sheldon Keefe. Yes, there's nothing wrong with getting rid of him because you think it's going to change the culture.
Yep.
But there's one person that you could definitely get rid of that would change the culture, and that's that comb-over Shanahan man.
Yeah. He's a good drinking buddy, probably.
But he comes out smelling like roses, which baffles me, man. This Leaf Nation, these Leaf fans are so dumbfounded and blind. Yes, you're going to have a great regular season. Get yourself 103, 105 points. You're still going to be the same in the playoffs. So,
they deserve what they're going to get. They deserve what they're going to get, and that's going to be heartbreaking again in the first round. Go on. Yeah, because we could just keep going about these guys. We could make a whole show, just a Leaf bashing show every week, and have no end of the content. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Bruins. They finally got Elias Lindholm. They've been looking for him for quite some time. He comes over.
Good on them.
The Jeremy Swayman contract situation lasts the entire off season in through training camp. He finally signs just before, gets the $8.25 million that Hellebuck got.
But isn't it funny though that all throughout the whole offseason, nothing said. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden they have one little press conference where Cam Neely goes, "Oh, I'd have 64 million reasons to play hockey."
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden it's I didn't like how Swayman's agent there. Oh, yeah. I didn't like that. But then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you get the deal done.
And the Swayman also comes out saying stuff like about the arbitration process and how he'll remember the things that were said. Well, yeah, plenty of time to remember them. He's going to see these people for the next 8 years.
8 years, exactly. So, you know what? Again, if I was Swayman, what I would have done is I would have sat out and I said, you know what? You said 64. I heard 74.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would have said, hey, you just put out a number that we never discussed. Well, this is the number I'm thinking. Like,
Cam
obviously,
Neely says 64 million, and then then there's all this stuff in the thing, and it's a $2 million difference over 8 years for the Boston Bruins.
It's stupid.
It was ridiculous. It was all ridiculous. A couple other changes, though.
But there's still going to be a top team in the.
Yeah, they didn't show it last night, but yeah, this is the other point I was going to bring up. So yeah, they made that trade with Ottawa. They get back Korpisalo and a couple other pieces and a pick. So Jonas Korpisalo was there all training camp. So they gave him the first start of the year,
and it worked out well.
The defending champions, the team that they lost to last year.
Korpisalo looked good for six. Korpisalo looked good for 6 minutes of that game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say for 6 goals. He looked good for
6
giving
minutes.
us 6 goals.
He looked good for 6 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this is why he was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch, though. It was a pretty intense game for the first game of the year.
Sure.
David Pasternak is still an elite scorer, 110 points. You don't have to worry about that. Supposedly, Marchand had an okay year last year, I think 60-something points. But he had a bunch of nagging injuries, he says. Then he got all taken care of over the offseason. So, we'll see.
He said he had 3 surgeries throughout the summer. So
we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
he didn't look great last night.
The one pickup I do like for Boston is Zadorov.
Yeah, that's on here. Just adding, that's a Boston player. That's a Boston player.
Oh, that's Chara 2.0.
Dirty. Not great, but people don't like going into the quarters with Nikita Zadorov.
He doesn't give a shit. He'll rub your face in the glass. I like that.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you hate until he's on your team. You know what I mean? And 100%. Boston's loading up on those guys.
I was going to say, isn't that Boston to a T?
Yeah. That should be what they say on the tunnel or whatever going out to the ice.
Exactly.
All right. So there's one last team, of course. Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Who they lose here? Brandon Montour to Seattle. That contract is bananas.
That's massive.
They lose obviously Oliver Ekman-Lart OEK. Yeah, over to Toronto. They bring in Nate Schmidt. The guy that Winnipeg bought out.
Winnipeg alum.
Yeah. Well, he'll know a couple of people over there. Nate Schmidt is a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
I'll say that. As a hockey player,
not great.
He had his time. Adam Buckfist is going to be a reclamation. His brother is there anyway, so we'll see if that does anything. Of course, losing Tarasenko. I don't, that they lost Tarasenko's, Kevin Stenlund to Utah, Nick Cousins to the Sands. Your old pal Kyle Okposo retires.
Yeah, retired. Good for him.
As the Stanley Cup champ. They lose Nosek and they're still really strong up front. They're still really strong in the back end, and they got very, very good goaltending.
Yeah, but
what are you going to do?
Who's their backup goalie now that Stolarz has gone to Toronto?
I can't remember, but doesn't matter. Bobrovsky's going to play 60 games.
So Bobrovsky's going to play 60, 65 games?
Yeah, he's going to play a lot. He's going to play. The problem comes if he gets injured, but you can say this about every team.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
you're an injury away from being mortal.
That's the only thing that I would say about Florida that I would be a little bit concerned with is the overuse of Bobrovsky.
They used him quite a bit last year. Stolarz came in when he could or whatever, but it's not like he played 35 games.
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't know who Florida has now.
We're going to take a look right now. Just going through here quick. Yeah, they got some good players. Still have.
Oh, Florida to me is still.
Chris Dritcher, it looks like. I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know who you're saying now. Yeah.
So,
my biggest thing is
he'll play 65 games a year this year.
Yeah. Like, to me, Florida is still like they're still the team of the Atlantic Division. They're still the cream, the cream of the crop.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And if it comes to predictions, we might as well just do that now because I got Panthers
Let's
on
go.
top. Panthers
Let's
on
go.
top. Bruins. Probably Leafs and
See,
Lightning. Like there isn't going to be much change. Maybe the Sens get closer, but I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
no, I still think you're going to see Florida win the Atlantic. You're right.
Yep.
You're going to have, if anything, the only thing that might flip flop is Toronto or Tampa or Boston in that 2-3.
Yep. Sure. That's very fair. Very fair. Those are all interchangeable. All four playoff teams.
All four playoff teams.
Yeah, it's just can the Sens or the Wings maybe get that extra wild card?
I think the Sens, if they get decent if they get good goaltending from Ullmark, and the young core can be a little bit better, I think Senators have a chance to become to get to that point where they're a wild card team.
I am really devaluing the New Jersey Devils, so I'll probably have to eat my hat about it. But let's move on. Let's move on
to the
talk about finally into the Central Division, the only division that really matters. Starting with the Blackhawks, who are not going to be much better, even though they've got some players back. They add Todd Bertuzzi. They bring in Todd Bertuzzi. They give him 4 years.
Whoa. Tyler.
Sorry, Tyler Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi.
Jesus,
Todd Bertuzzi.
Is Todd Bertuzzi out of retirement that I don't know?
He's back. Just can't wait for that game against Colorado. Okay. Tyler Bertuzzi's back.
Yep.
Or sorry, in Chicago. 4 years, $5.5 million a year for Tyler Bertuzzi.
Well, again, there's no money shortage in hockey.
Yep. Teuvo Teravainen, of course, I mentioned it, already come back. Jets lose their backup goalie to them. Laurent Brossoit now there.
But
yeah, the Brossoit.
You know what? Good for Brossoit.
Yeah, fantastic for him.
He's gonna get starting role here in Chicago.
He's gonna have a legit shot. Great. He'll have a legit shot. Like it's Peter Mrazek. He has to beat out for the ice time.
Please.
He's going to have a legit shot. He was a very good backup last year. Of course, he was in a good place. Him and Hellbuck were real good friends. He's great friends. Also, Wade Flaherty, the goalie coach here in Winnipeg, does a great job and really helped Brossoit's career. We'll see what happens to Chicago. He's going to get a lot more shots and a lot more dangerous shots because you still look at some of those guys they have in front. Like, are you gonna do anything about that on the back end? Like, they're just bad. Taylor Hall is going to be playing again. Great. This was 10 years ago. Fantastic.
Again, I don't think there's much to say about Chicago, but still rebuilding, trying to get better.
Yep. Still Luke Bridgerton. They're not
going to get out of the not going to get out of the basement.
Yeah, Connor Bedard should have another good year.
Hopefully he improves. Hopefully he improves a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, good year last year, but yeah, it didn't look as dirty in the pros. I think he was a little more scared in the pros because he was dirty in the W. All right.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you break your jaw.
Okay. Moving on to the Utah Hockey Club.
Can I just skip?
You might as well.
I'm sorry.
The fact that so many people are saying this is a playoff team again boggles the mind.
Oh,
I don't get it.
I
don't get it.
Bananas.
B-A-N.
It's like I'm sorry, but just because they go from Arizona to Utah, they're a playoff team now.
Nope.
No.
They're still
they're still dumpster trash.
Yeah.
Will they have more fans? Absolutely, which is great.
It's by default. So the NHL has already said that next year the salary cap's going to go up. It's like, yeah, of course. Like they're gonna by the time the quarter of the season's done, Utah's had made more money than Phoenix will in 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah. So okay,
bananas.
We're done.
Yeah, of course. They're not making the playoffs. Let's be real.
No.
Okay. No. Minnesota Wild. It's one of those teams where you think they'd be better, and then you have to remember they have a piece of crap like Ryan Hartman and another piece of crap like Marcus Foligno on their team, so they deserve heartbreak and pain.
Yep.
They got a great player. They got Kirill Kaprizov is amazing.
Oh yeah. He's a goal scorer's dream.
Yeah. You think this is going to be Fleury's last year?
I hope so.
Has to be, right? It has to be.
I hope so.
Yeah.
There's no reason. There's no more reason for him to be here.
Shocked that he stuck around. Okay.
Yep.
That's all we have to need to say about those jerks. Talk about the St. Louis Blues. Okay. Probably one of the more interesting boardroom decisions over the summer, signing Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg to those offer sheets and actually getting them. And signing it just enough so that they don't have to go that extra bit, so they have to give another draft pick or a higher draft pick.
I don't know if I give credit to St. Louis for that. They're smart.
We were talking about it last year, and both those guys looked very good in the playoffs for Edmonton. It looked like they were finally meeting their peak. Like, this is the time they just jumped on it. They had to take care. They knew Edmonton was going to be strapped. Edmonton was going to be strapped. Who are they going to? They tried getting rid of players, and they couldn't come anywhere close.
That's right.
So they lose them both. So good move for them. We'll see what they do. Let's see. It's still St. Louis.
It's still St. Louis. Like, I mean, can I put my trust in Jordan Binnington? No.
Yeah. As enigmatic, not just as a player, but as a person you'll ever see.
I put my trust in him to get kicked out of games. So we're
okay sure. Yeah. Oh, sure. Speaking of getting kicked out of games, but not kicked out, but Torrey Krug going to miss the entire season.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. Pre-arthritis surgery in the left ankle. Oh, couldn't imagine. And he's not getting any younger. So
no.
LTIR, one of the top players.
It'll be a cap savings. Yeah, let's be like, thank you.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's get to the top half of this league. Should all be pretty competitive. Starting with Nashville. Okay. They make of course, the biggest free agent splash.
Big splash.
Over the summer.
It's not just one.
They make two. So they get Stamkos for 4 years. 4 years and $8 million per.
That's fair.
A great bargain for two. We'll see within the next two.
Well,
he's definitely worth $8 million over the next 2 years. He had 81 points.
Oh yeah.
Those next 2 years,
he'll be a point a game. But you know what? If I think Nashville, it's yes that they signed, a few other players for longer, but I don't know. I think Nashville's window is 2 years.
This is exactly right. They really have 2 years to do this. So I like
Roman Yosti and all that. Like, they're not getting any younger.
No, they're going to sign UC Saros, of course, here. Huge, he only gets 7.74 million UC Saros. Like, Shesterkin 11. I'll still go use Shesterkin with 11. Okay. So they make a couple other big signings. Brady Shea, we mentioned that, but I think at $7 million a year for 7 years for Brady Shea is quite a bit.
That's a lot. That's a lot for Brady Shea.
Jonathan Marchessault coming over there for only 5 years and only 5.5. Considering, I'll talk about it more when we talk about Vegas. How about that? We're going to leave Marchessault until we talk about Vegas. But I think that is a good value signing for Nashville. Here's the deal.
Like I don't know what Vegas, if they planned on offering him anything, or if they just decided, you know what, we're moving on or whatever. I don't know.
We'll talk about this in the predictions. Let's just wait. If I want to add a little more about Predators, I'll add it in the predictions, because we're going to move on to the Colorado Avalanche.
Well, again, there's not much to say about this team.
Landeskog might be back this year, but he hasn't played since 2022.
Even if he's not back, this is still This is still a creme de la creme team. Like,
oh, you think that highly of him?
I do, and again, like, my biggest concern, obviously, is Grigoriev. But again,
they've proven they can win a cup with him in net. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
I still think they had a better team around him at that point.
I still think that they're going to score 4, 5, 6 goals a game.
Yeah.
So you don't need a
They're gonna
great
need it.
goalie. You just need a competent goalie.
Well, even then, he did enough to beat the Jets. No problem in the playoffs after that first game. After giving up 8 in the first game, he was very good after that.
But you also,
the Jets
on your
sucked.
team, you have like the second and third best player in the league.
Well, I think they have the best defenseman. I think that's I don't know how many people can debate that Makar is not the best defenseman in the league. They have the reigning Hart Trophy winner, the guy who won the Art Ross last year. They got
I think there's only one other defenseman that you could probably say could be online with Makar, but I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about
Josh Morrissey. So
okay, well, let's keep talking then.
Avs are good, Are they going to fix the net? We'll see.
Avs will be there. That's all I can say. Avs will
They're going to be there.
There's really not much to say.
Now, let's go on to your Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it is my Winnipeg Jets.
Yes, your favorite team. So Scott Arniel steps in for Rick Bowness. Scott Arniel revolutionized the defense for us. We went from a team that was so porous in front of goal and would just give up chance after chance after chance on Hellebuck to winning the Jennings Trophy last year. We didn't even give up 200 goals last season. We lose Brendan Dillon to New Jersey. Okay. Yep. And we lose our backup goaltender.
Boissois, yeah.
That's it. A lot of people complaining about how we didn't. Well, I'll say, okay, no, we lose Toffoli, sure. Tyler Toffoli was a deadline deal. Monahan we brought in. At Christmas time.
Monahan to me is a bigger loss than Toffoli.
It's a loss, but
like Toffoli didn't.
I always go back to this. Right? No, he was. He wasn't worth the second round pick. So when the Jets picked up Monahan, they were either in first or second place in the league when they did that. They did all that without Sean Monahan.
You're not
with Nemestikov at second line center, or moving in or trading places with Perfetti. The entire team is basically coming back up front. That started last year.
So what I would say to you is then the only question with the Winnipeg Jets going into this year is going to be their head coach.
It's a thing. They played well. They have a lot of experience with Scott Arniel as the head guy because Bowness had to take so much time off over the last 2 years.
And the nice part is the team this is not a brand new face, brand new coach like what the Leafs are dealing with when it comes to coaches. They know what this coach expects. They know what this coach is about. So I think Winnipeg will be fine. Winnipeg will still be they will still be a force
defensively
in the division.
Defensively, they're going to be very good. Maybe not like the defensemen, but it's team defense. Everybody committed to defense, and then it's a matter of finding goals. But Gabe Velarde missed so much time, and Nikolai Ehlers missed time. There's weight. They're going to score more goals, so we'll see. The power play has to be better. Both power play and the penalty kill were terrible, and they got new guys in. They got rid of the old assistant coaches. They brought in guys that are specialists in this. It already looks better. It looks better in the preseason, but the preseason means shit. So who knows?
That's right.
I'm excited. I can't believe that some people are thinking they're going to drop off so bad. Anyways.
No, I don't think they'll drop off bad. It's just they're in the toughest division in the NHL.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And we still have one more team to talk about.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about them right now because I could talk about that other team all day. So here's the Stars.
Yep.
Joe Pavelski. Yeah, Joe Pavelski retires. All right. Yep. A fine career.
Fantastic career.
Yeah. Chris Tanev signs in Toronto. They bring in Matt Dumba. Not Matt Dumba 10 years ago. Now,
No.
Matt Dumba is now their number one right-handed defenseman. So they got a side that you can work on. You can work on that right side.
This will be something DeBoer has to work with.
They're young, and they're, of course, well coached. Never going to say a bad word about them.
Oh, no.
But
they
trusting like a third line to Maverick Bork and Logan Stankoven, was very good in limited parts last year.
Fantastic, yeah.
And then with Jamie Benn on that thing, just kind of have that veteran presence and a little size.
Oh, that's it.
But they're an interesting team to look at. Defensively, on the right side, not great. Left side, very good. They've got Jake Ottinger's going to fit problems.
Oh, he's going to
fix a lot of problems.
He's still a top 5 goaltender in the league.
Yeah, Wyan Johnson's going to get moved up now to take Pavelski's spot. He had 65
100%.
points last year.
Oh, and the sky's the limit for Wyatt Johnson. Sky's the limit.
Interesting. It's an interesting thing that the Stars have going here. If they get together with their mix of youth, size, and and veteran smarts.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's go into predictions. Let's go to predictions real quick.
All right.
Who do you have winning the Central Division?
I have the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
Then I have Colorado.
Okay.
Then I'll put Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the only 3 teams that make the playoffs. Oh, wait a second.
There's a team that spent a lot of money not to do that.
I forgot Nashville. Yeah. Shit. Okay, Nashville gets a wild card. Nashville gets a wild card.
You're pumping the gas on a lot of Pacific teams. I honestly thought very hard about, are the Jets better than the Stars? And I was trying to see it as not a fan. I just they were so good for so long with the exact same mix. And maybe getting a chip on their shoulder from losing the playoffs.
Maybe.
So tough. I'm going to say you're right. I'm going to go with the Stars. I'm going to put the Jets second. I'm going to have the Predators over the Avalanche.
You got the Avalanche coming in as a wild card team?
I think they're going to slide. I think they're going to slide.
Yay.
I think Avalanche as a wild card team.
Wow, that's a hot take.
Yeah, Avalanche against Stars would be a good matchup.
Oh, be fan. Well,
that's who they beat.
Oh yeah, there's no
because there's another team that's pretty
Winnipeg.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have the Predators again in the playoffs. I'd like to have that again.
That'd be fun.
Jets have had some success against it. All right. Blackhawks still at the bottom. Utah still at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's not going to change much. Okay. Pacific Division. We're finally the last division here. I don't know how much we want to spend on the San Jose Sharks.
Think there's much. No, 0.
Yeah. Interesting that they get Askarov from Nashville, the top European prospect in net anyways. They're going to need him, but I wouldn't even start him this year. And they only have him for a 2-year deal. But how do you even start him? He's going to get so many shots on it. It's I don't understand. They're poor
for them too.
Yeah, Macklin Celebrini will get a year's experience, much in the way
as long as he doesn't get hurt.
Right, it'd be sort of the same thing as Connor Bedard. He's not as talented as Connor Bedard, but he'll have that same get used to the speed of the game kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe Tyler Toffoli will transform his career. Their top line winger. Unbelievable. Please. The Sharks. All right, moving on. The Ducks finished second last.
I still don't think
they need so many players to get better. Not the least of which their goaltender, because John Gibson was ass. He has 3 more years left on his deal too. A 354 goals against average and an 888 save percentage. That's your starting goaltender.
That's top tier right there.
Oh my God. A couple interesting things about them. Well, first again, Trevor Zegras, come on. You just got to wake up. 15 points of 30. Cutter Gauthier. is going to be the big thing. The guy who whined his way out of Philly, all that noise around it.
Yes.
Let's see how he does. Let's see how he does now in the show. And that first game, Ducks and Flyers is going to be it's going to be a hoot.
Yeah.
Especially the one in Philly. Oh, that poor kid. That poor kid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Leo Carlson. Yeah.
He's the one that
I am
made us
not. I
good.
am automatically not a fan of him. Well, I couldn't stand. He's good friends with a certain guy that got traded out of Winnipeg this summer for the very same reason. Yeah, coincidentally. Leo Carlson. Let's see how he does this. Their top line center.
Hopefully develops. Hopefully gets another year.
He's going to need to play more than the 55 games that's only made it in last year, and need to do more.
Right.
Okay,
you're not wrong.
Seattle Kraken. It's the Seattle Hockey Kraken. Just named Eberle their team captain. Good for him. Canadian juniors legend. Your former guy, Jordan Eberle.
Yes, Eberle. Big goal against the Russians.
Yes. But I think at one time, wasn't he the leading scorer for Canada all time in the World Juniors? Just means he had to play a lot.
Yeah.
They get Dan Bylsma as their head coach. Ugh. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think the biggest thing for the Kraken this year is the fact they have a female assistant coach.
That was this very big news, and congratulations to her. Maybe she'll take over. She can take over as head coach because Bylsma isn't going to last very long.
But unfortunately, I think that's as far as the Kraken's acclimates are going to go.
Ooh. They signed Chandler Stevenson from Vegas. They give him 7 years and 6 1/4. They get Montour from Florida. We said 7 years, over
They're
7 a year.
They're not good.
Shane Wright has to do something, right? Like, this is his year to do something, or everybody else was right. Everybody else was right about Shane Wright. Or we could say Shane Wright has to prove some people wrong.
Wrong. The double entendre.
Yeah, they signed Joey Decord just this week, I believe. 5 years, 25 million. He was very good for them. A .914 save percentage last year. So yeah,
again, I think Seattle's just another whatever.
They're another whatever. Their top 4 D isn't too bad, but yeah, who's going to score? Who's scoring for the Seattle Kraken this year? Oh my gosh. Okay.
No.
Speaking of scoring, Calgary Flames. They gave the net to a guy who's played 17 games last year in Wool with a sub 900 save percentage. The other option, Dan Vladar. Similar stats, but he just played more games. Both sub 500 plus 320.
Vladar is a lifetime backup.
Jonathan Huberdeau had 52 points last year. I think that's all you have to say. He had an 81 game. They have a great defenseman in Mackenzie Weegar. That's it. That's Calgary. What are we supposed to even say about these guys? They didn't get better. They got worse. They obviously got worse. And is this going to be a rebuilding? Not just going to be a rebuilding year, it'll be rebuilding.
Like Kadri's going to be traded. There's no way that they're keeping him.
How do you trade him? That contract. There's a reason that people stayed away.
Toronto will take him because they're idiots.
Yeah. Well, they got to get rid of Marner, so we'll see after they get rid of Marner if they take this guy. At least he plays center. Maybe they'll move John Tavares to a 4th-line center.
Again, I mean, Calgary. I don't think there's much more to talk about with Calgary.
No, that's it. That's all I had. Golden Knights finished next, so they let Marchessault go to Nashville. An original misfit, Stanley Cup champion, Conn Smythe Trophy winner. He goes for only 5 years, $5.25 million. He had 42 goals for them last year.
No.
And people jumping up and down about the Vegas Golden Knights too. Again, they're older. Are they as fun? Like Aiden Hill, I guess Aiden Hill's been good, but is Aiden Hill the guy who's just going to win you another Stanley Cup? Because
No.
I think these guys are figured out. People have gotten the Golden Knights.
Just put everybody in LTIR and you're good.
Yeah,
you figure out the Golden Knights.
Exactly. Thomas Hertl gets 8 years, $8.13 million a year. Oh my God! Coming off a knee injury. Yeah, they'll put him on LTIR at some point and bring in a bunch of guys. There'll be $15 million over the cap. And they'll either lose in the first round or not make it. Whatever. Golden Knights. Speaking of whatevers. Speaking of whatevers, one of these teams is going to make the playoffs. Either the Golden Knights or the Los Angeles Kings. Okay. One of them has to make the playoffs because there has to be 3. Jim Hiller, he did do a good job turning the club around after they fired Todd McClellan.
Yeah.
Rob Blake did manage to get rid of PLD. He signed him to that ridiculous contract, and then just before the trade, the thing goes his no movement clause, he gets rid of him. Smart, but
you know what?
You get Darcy Kemper for him.
Kudos to Blake for getting rid of that contract.
Sure, he traded Gabe Velarde, Alex Iafallo, I can't remember even the name of the speedy Russian guy, and a second-round pick for Darcy Kemper. So it's going to come down to, which is bananas. And he still has a job. So there you go. Going to need, Quentin Byfield looked better. He's going to need to do even more. Yeah. He had 55 points last year. They play excellent defense. Like as a team, they play excellent defense.
Yeah, structural. Yeah.
They were third in goals against last year as a team. Again, Anze Kopitar is older. They're just older. Is it going to get any better? I don't know. We're going to talk about it in a sec. Because we have to go to the team that finished second in that division, even though they had a 2-9-3 start or something like that. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was 2-10 and something. I thought.
Yeah, it was. Those are some of my most. It was some of my most fun 2 weeks I've ever had watching hockey.
I was going to say you probably were under the sun there, just enjoying.
Loved it. Didn't love how it ended up with them almost coming back from the absolute death to win the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Ugh. Well, at least they didn't win, and hopefully it shamed them a lot. Speaking of shame, they go and bring Stan Bowman back to the NHL.
I called that. That's a joke.
Yeah. This is who they are as a franchise. They bring in Victor Arvidsson from Los Angeles. Fine.
Okay, not terrible.
Yeah, it's fine. They bring in Jeff Skinner. They're thinking, maybe we're going to get something. He had 24 goals or something like that last year. He has been awful.
He's never played one playoff game in his entire career.
There's a reason.
They think he's going to be a guy that, we'll get him in the playoffs and he'll be right and ready.
Yeah, look what he'll do. He's going to be gassed. He will be absolutely gassed.
He'll be blown up.
They give Draisaitl that 8-year, $120 million deal. They have to do it. They're gonna give McDavid one next year. That's gonna be more, 15 or 16 million.
Guaranteed.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they fit everybody. Everybody else is just gonna make $1 million because they gotta pay Bouchard.
And the problem is Bouchard's coming up next year too.
That top pairing of Ekholm and Bouchard. I don't know if there's a better top pairing in the league.
No, there's not.
They just have to pay. They just have to play 45 minutes a game.
You just have to hope that Darnell Nurse, and whoever his line mate is, can actually do something and play maybe 15 minutes a game.
Yeah, maybe. I remember that one game that went into double or triple overtime or whatever it was in the playoffs, and Darnell Nurse played almost 60 minutes. That game was crazy. Yeah, Stuart Skinner, fantastic for them in the playoffs. You can't say especially in elimination games, he was so good.
Well, he's past the point now where I can't say that. oh, I don't think Stuart Skinner can take them to where they got to go.
Yep.
I'm past that point.
Yep.
But I need to see it again.
That's the thing. Does he have it in him to do it again? We'll see. Lots of calls for him to be the starting goalie now for Canada at the Four Nations Cup thing. We'll see.
But that's the biggest question mark with the team we're about to talk about it too.
Right. And we can go right into their goaltending because Thatcher Demko gets hurt that first game of the playoffs. He's still hurt.
He's still hurt.
Not sure when he's going to play.
They have not given a timeline or anything like that.
Yeah, the Silas or whatever, I can't remember how we pronounce his name, was good for them.
Shivas?
Yeah, Shivas.
Yeah, whatever.
No idea.
Whatever.
I'll get used to it again this year. I got used to it. He was good for them in the playoffs. He was very good for them, especially taking out Nashville. He was good. He played good against Edmonton too. What are you going to do for this guy? Is JT Miller going to be a 100-point guy again? I don't see it.
This is all like Pettersson signed that big contract. Now let's see what you can do for me, son.
They got the reigning Norris Trophy winner.
I mean, he's still probably, but like he's still the second best defenseman in the league.
Yeah,
Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, he's yeah. I think it could be interchangeable at times, but yeah, he's a top 3 guy for sure. Jake DeBrusk comes in for 7 years.
Well, hey,
$5.5 million for a 40-point guy for 7 years.
Again, you get these teams that are on the cusp, that are on the verge. Hey, you may overpay for somebody or whatever, but you're showing your fan base, hey, we care. We're all in.
Sure.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, they didn't care much about their defense past Hughes. The rest of it doesn't look great. Tyler Myers is still there.
Oh, it's 6'7" jug.
Oh, I remember him. I remember him very well.
Oh,
also, I just want to say a quick thing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I just want to say, as a man, I'm hoping for the best for Dakota Joshua. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
congratulations.
I don't think it's congratulations, but you know what? Big on him for doing what he went through, testing and everything like that. I think a lot of men should be, you know, inspirational or whatever you want to call it there.
Always try and catch things early.
100%, 100%.
As someone who's lost a brother through cancer and stuff like that, get screened. Don't be a wuss. It takes minutes.
And you know what? Congratulations to the kid for doing it and detecting thankfully getting it detected at an early age.
Yeah, and he's going to be just fine. Like Blake Wheeler had one rupture in a game, finished the game for God's sake. Had to have that, a little surgery after that as well. So yeah, he'll be just fine. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of just fine, let's go for some predictions here, and maybe we'll do a cup final prediction and then our winner after this as well. But predictions, no one's topping the Oilers in this division, right?
I think if Demko can come back healthy, I think Vancouver has a chance. But I would still give the edge to Edmonton. But Vancouver's right there. Rick Tocchet has them playing very, very good positional hockey. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Again, I think the biggest question mark with Vancouver is Demko's health.
And it's a big one. Like if it's a knee problem for knees for goalies, knees and hips. Hard to come back from it. It's the worst possible news for a goalie to have those things. I have the Oilers. I have the Oilers and the Canucks one too. I think the only real thing would be the third and fourth.
I do too. Like I just don't know what the depending on situations and all that stuff. I think honestly, I think Vegas is probably 3.
That's who I had as well.
And Kings 4.
Okay, I went Kraken ahead of the Kings. I'm suspicious of the Kings, but just a It's like with the Jets, and they say about playing that style of hockey can be draining, and they're just older.
Absolutely.
They're just older than the Jets. So
You're
we'll
not
see if
wrong.
they
Again,
can keep it up.
I think the Pacific is a 2-horse race with 2 or 3 others that are going to bring up the rear.
Yep, I agree. The others are consolation prizes, and the other teams take it to the second round. That's probably about it. Okay.
Oh,
I had the Sharks being better than the Ducks because I just don't see anything in the Ducks. The Flames, the Flames are down there too.
The Flames
okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
Do you have a Stanley Cup matchup?
Do I have a Stanley Cup matchup?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
From the West, I'm going to put the Edmonton Oilers in.
Sure.
And from the East, I'm going to put the New York Rangers in.
Okay. I like it. For me, I'm going to go with the Stars in the West.
Ooh, wow, good for you. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Florida to go back there.
Oh, you're going to say Florida's going back.
To quote Richard, the poet Richard Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Okay,
there isn't too many. Yeah,
okay.
The Rangers are probably right there with them and stuff just like they were last year. We're just recycling all the teams that were in the fourth, that were in the concert finals last year.
Yeah, so basically, if you want my final four, it is Dallas, Edmonton, it is Florida, New York.
Yeah, the teams we picked to win every conference.
Exactly.
You have who to win the Stanley Cup?
I actually have Edmonton this year to win the Stanley Cup.
One of the worst things I ever wrote in my entire life.
I'm surprised you're still talking to me.
I don't like it. I'm going to pick Florida to win again.
You're going Florida back to back. Wow.
Yeah, Paul Maurice, I've said it so many times, just such a good playoff coach. He's got guys that are bought in. He's got up front, so many guys that can play so well offensively and defensively. Mm-hmm. They have the best two-way forward in the game, Barkov. Their defense is strong. The goaltending is strong. They're just every level strong.
You're not
including
wrong.
coaching.
You're not wrong.
They have the hardware to prove it. Like a bunch of jerks.
And they're battle tested. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
They know what it takes.
They know what it takes. Now, are they just going to get tired out of making it to 2 finals in a row over the last 2 seasons? We'll see. There's that break. The big outlier is going to be the Four Nations Cup break. Everyone's going to get a chance, except for the guys that are going to make it. But all your guys that you need, all the guys that you need to win Stanley Cup.
Nice and rested.
Your third line guys, your fourth line guys. A lot of those guys are going to get rested. A lot of Bobrovsky can't play. Your goaltender is going to be rested.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it might work out well for them, but every team's going to have that advantage too. Okay,
that's it.
Ryan, I can't wait to talk more hockey. I'm glad we're doing. It's not just playoff Beards anyway. Maybe we can put that in there. Not just playoff Beards.
We'll
talk more hockey.
Out a new title. Yeah. We'll have to figure out a title.
We'll figure this out. Get that Brazilian guy to work on something else. We'll do much more throughout the regular season. Maybe I'll do a watch along. I know it's tough for you and stuff like that. It's your, successful job and family and blah blah blah. I don't even know the guys who live in this house. I just know when they leave. I
just rent the basement.
Exactly. Coming up on the channel. Let's see. I was going to say playoff Beards. Starting 11. I'm going to have this week off, or at least next couple of weeks because of the international break. But it'll be back soon. Talk about the English Premier League. We do those shows live on Tuesdays on the highlights. Let's see, betting the NFL and Good Friends, Better Rivals are 2 NFL shows weekends here on the highlights as well. It's Caleb. I think Caleb and Fares do the Good Friends, Better Rivals. That's more about The Jets and the Cowboys, or the Giants and the Cowboys. I almost said Jets and Cowboys. Giants and Cowboys.
No, because Caleb and DWeezy do the betting the NFL.
Yeah, like I say, if I was a betting man, I'd follow their advice.
Oh yeah.
A fine couple of men.
Oh, and you know what, the picks that they give, they do no wrong.
Right,
winner every time.
Not every time. It's a gambling. Yeah. Let's see. Over on the flagship network, we got Rewatchers Council. Thursdays, the show I do with Adelia.
Ooh, nice.
Sometimes a young man named Fares will show up. It hasn't been for quite some time, but maybe we'll getting back very soon. I know those shows come out Thursdays.
How many more seasons you got left?
Central.
How many more seasons are left of Buffy?
A bunch. We just started the third.
Oh, wow.
There's seven. Let's see what else we got. Lots of stuff on the post credits. They've been talking about the Ring of Power. That show just wrapped up.
Yeah, the Penguin.
The Penguin. I don't know if you've watched the Penguin at all, but I've seen.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's very good. The first episode, anyways.
Is it? I'll have to check that out.
Agatha All Along. They're talking about.
Right.
Which I really like that. I know that Hambone's going to be doing a review of Salem's Lot. The remake of Salem's Lot here very soon.
Oh wow!
The movie that's scared the hell out of me growing up because it was on TV and I saw to see this little boy scratching at a window with a blue face or saying "Let me in." Yeah, so they're doing that, and it's like I'm gonna make myself watch it. Lots of stuff over on the flagship Let's Get Ready network, guys. You can follow all the stuff ticking along down there for us if you can. That'd be fantastic. Let's Get Ready Network.com is where you can find all our list of shows, I guess. And don't just take it from a couple dumbass hoser Canadians. Go find out for yourself. There's lots there.
That's it,
guys. Season underway, and NHL season truly underway as well. Jets are playing in an hour and a half or so. Not even in half an hour. I just saw the time. Okay, guys, I gotta go eat some food, watch some hockey. Until next time, adieu et bonsoir.